Hello everyone, and welcome back to the English Academy. Today, I want to ask you a simple question. Why do some people become successful while others keep working hard for years but never seem to move forward? Is it because they are luckier? Is it because they are smarter? Or were they simply born into a better family? Most people spend their entire lives believing these are the reasons. But what if I told you that the biggest difference has nothing to do with money, talent, or even education? The real difference begins inside the human mind. Long before someone becomes rich, respected, or successful, they first become different in the way they think. Every decision you make, every habit you build, every opportunity you take, and every dream you give up, all of them begin with one thing: your mindset. Think about this for a moment. Two people can start from the exact same place. They can have the same age, the same education, the same salary, even the same opportunities. But 10 years later, one person is living the life they once dreamed about. The other is still making excuses. So what changed? It wasn't one lucky day. It wasn't one magical opportunity. It was thousands of small thoughts, repeated every single day. The truth is something most people never realize. Your future is created by the conversations you have with yourself when nobody else is listening. Every morning, your mind asks you a question. Will you grow today? Or will you stay comfortable? Successful people answer that question differently. And that's exactly what we're going to discover today. This video isn't about becoming rich overnight. It's about understanding the way successful people see the world. Because once your thinking changes, your decisions change. When your decisions change, your actions change. And when your actions change, your entire life begins to change. So don't just watch this video. Listen carefully. Imagine yourself in every example. Ask yourself difficult questions. And most importantly, stay with me until the very end. Because the final lesson may completely change the way you think about success forever. Now, let's begin with the first and most powerful difference. Most people live for today. Successful people build for tomorrow. Most people believe success comes from one big opportunity. But that's one of the biggest lies ever told. Success is rarely created in one moment. It's created in thousands of ordinary moments that nobody notices. Imagine a farmer. He doesn't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. He waters it, protects it, waits patiently, day after day. At first, nothing seems to happen. The ground looks exactly the same. Anyone passing by might even laugh and say, "You're wasting your time." But the farmer keeps watering the seed. Because he understands something most people don't. Real growth happens underground before it becomes visible above the ground. Success works the same way. Every book you read, every new skill you learn, every workout you complete, every promise you keep to yourself, they are all invisible seeds. Nobody claps for you. Nobody notices your discipline. Nobody congratulates you for waking up early. And because there is no immediate reward, most people quit. They mistake invisible progress for no progress. That's why they never reach their goals. Successful people think differently. They don't ask, "What will I get today?" Instead, they ask, "What will this decision give me 5 years from now?" That single question changes everything. When they spend money, they think about tomorrow. When they spend time, they think about tomorrow. When they build habits, they think about tomorrow. While others chase comfort, they chase growth. Here's something worth remembering. Comfort feels good today. Growth feels good forever. Every successful person has learned to sacrifice temporary pleasure for permanent improvement. Think about your own life. How many times have you chosen entertainment instead of education? Scrolling instead of studying? Sleeping instead of improving? Complaining instead of taking action? Those small decisions may seem harmless, but repeated every day, they slowly create your future. Your life is not changed by one big decision. It is shaped by the small decisions you repeat every single day. If you want a different future, you must become a different person today. Because tomorrow is built by what you do now. And this brings us to another powerful difference. Successful people don't just think differently about time. They also think very differently about money. Money. Just hearing that word changes the way people think. For some, money is a source of freedom. For others, it's a source of stress. The difference isn't how much they earn. The difference is how they see money. Most people believe that making more money will solve all their problems. But history has shown something surprising. Many people earn millions and still end up broke. Why? Because income doesn't create wealth. Habits do. Imagine two friends. Both receive the same salary every month. The first person spends money to impress others. A new phone. Branded clothes. Luxury dinners. Things they don't really need. For a few moments, they feel successful. But that feeling disappears as soon as the next bill arrives. Now look at the second person. Instead of asking, "What do I want today?" they ask, "What can this money become tomorrow?" They invest in learning. They build valuable skills. They save before they spend. They understand one powerful truth. Money is a tool, not a trophy. Rich thinkers don't spend money to look rich. They use money to create more value. Because they know something most people ignore. Every rupee has a job. If you waste it, it disappears forever. If you invest it wisely, it starts working for you. This is why wealthy people often look ordinary. They don't feel the need to prove anything. Their confidence comes from what they own inside, not from what they wear outside. The world teaches people to buy things they can't afford, to impress people who don't really care. Successful people refuse to play that game. Instead of chasing appearances, they chase freedom. Because real wealth isn't driving the most expensive car. Real wealth is having the freedom to choose how you spend your time. Never confuse looking rich with becoming rich. One costs money. The other creates money. And once you understand this difference, you stop asking, "How can I spend more?" You start asking, "How can I create more value?" Because in the end, money always follows value. The people who solve the biggest problems usually receive the biggest rewards. And that leads us to another mindset that completely separates successful people from everyone else. They never stop learning. The moment most people finish school or college, they also stop learning. They believe education is over. But successful people know something different. School may end. Learning never does. Think about it. The world changes every single day. New technology appears. New businesses are created. New opportunities are born. If you keep thinking the same way you did 5 years ago, how can you expect a different future? Successful people don't see learning as an expense. They see it as an investment. Every book they read, every podcast they listen to, every new skill they practice, adds another brick to the foundation of their future. At first, the results are invisible. One book won't change your life. One video won't make you successful. One new habit won't transform your future overnight. But hundreds of books, Thousands of hours of learning. Years of consistent improvement. Create a person that the old version of you wouldn't even recognize. Here's the truth. Your income rarely grows faster than your knowledge. If you want to earn more, you must first become more valuable. And value doesn't come from wishing. It comes from learning. Imagine two people. One spends 3 hours every evening watching random videos that they won't even remember tomorrow. The other spends just 1 hour learning a valuable skill. After 1 day, there's almost no difference. After 1 month, still not much. But after 5 years, their lives are completely different. Because knowledge compounds. Just like money earns interest, knowledge earns opportunities. The more you know, the more you can do. The more you can do, the more people are willing to pay for your value. That's why successful people are curious. They ask questions. They read. They listen. They observe. Most importantly, they stay humble enough to admit they don't know everything. The moment you think you've learned enough, you stop growing. And the moment you stop growing, someone else is already taking your place. So never let your education depend on a classroom. Make learning a daily habit. Because the greatest investment you will ever make is the investment you make in yourself. And once your knowledge begins to grow, something even more important must change. The way you respond when life becomes difficult. Life is not fair. Sooner or later, everyone experiences failure. A business fails. An exam is lost. A relationship ends. A dream falls apart. The question is not whether failure will come. The real question is, what will you do when it arrives? Most people see failure as proof that they are not good enough. Successful people see failure as proof that they are trying. That's a huge difference. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall once, twice, 10 times, hundreds of times. But they never look at the ground and say, maybe walking isn't for me. They simply stand up again. Somehow. As adults, we forget that lesson. We fail once. And suddenly we begin doubting ourselves. We stop trying. We stop believing. We let one bad chapter convince us that the whole story is over. But every successful person you admire has failed more times than most people have even tried. Failure didn't destroy them. Quitting would have. Every mistake carries a lesson. Every setback carries experience. Every rejection teaches something that success never could. The people who eventually win are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who refuse to stay on the ground. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? They ask, what is this trying to teach me? That single question turns pain into progress. Remember this. You cannot control everything that happens in your life. But you can always control your response. And your response determines your future. Storms don't last forever. Neither do difficult times. Every challenge you overcome makes you mentally stronger. Every obstacle builds resilience. Every disappointment prepares you for a greater opportunity. One day, you'll look back at the hardest moments of your life and realize they weren't stopping you. They were shaping you. So don't fear failure. Fear the life you will have if you never dare to try. Because success doesn't belong to the strongest. It belongs to those who keep moving forward. Even when every reason tells them to stop. And once you understand this, you begin to realize something even more valuable than money. Time. Time. Every person on earth receives exactly the same 24 hours each day. The richest billionaire. The greatest athlete. The most successful entrepreneur. And you. No one gets an extra hour. No one can buy another minute. Time is the only resource that is completely equal. The difference is not how much time people have. The difference is how they choose to spend it. Most people spend their days reacting. They wake up, check their phone, scroll through social media, reply to messages, watch random videos. Hours disappear without them even noticing. Then they say, "I don't have enough time." But the truth is, it isn't a lack of time. It's a lack of priorities. Successful people protect their time the way others protect their money. Because they understand something powerful. Money lost can be earned again. Time lost never returns. Think about this. If someone offered you $1 million, but in exchange, you had to give up 10 years of your life, would you accept? Probably not. Because deep down, you already know that time is more valuable than money. Yet every single day, people trade their time for things that don't improve their lives. They waste hours worrying about opinions. Hours complaining. Hours comparing themselves to others. Without realizing that life is slowly slipping away. Successful people ask a different question. Instead of asking, "What should I do today?" they ask, "What deserves my time today?" That small change creates a completely different life. Because not every task is equally important. Being busy is not the same as being productive. You can spend the entire day working and still make no real progress. Or you can spend one focused hour on the right task and move closer to your dreams than most people do in a week. Remember this. Your future is hidden inside your daily schedule. Show me how you spend your time, and I'll show you where your life is heading. Every minute is a choice. Every hour is an investment. Every day is building the person you will become. So stop treating time like it's unlimited. Because one day, you'll realize the most expensive thing you ever wasted wasn't money. It was time. And once you truly value your time, you'll naturally begin to value something else that changes every successful life. Your daily habits. Have you ever wondered why some people achieve extraordinary results, while others keep waiting for the perfect moment? The answer is surprisingly simple. Successful people don't depend on motivation. They depend on habits. Motivation is powerful, but it is temporary. Some mornings, you'll wake up feeling excited. You'll want to work. You'll feel unstoppable. But other mornings, you'll feel tired, unmotivated, distracted. If your success depends only on how you feel, your progress will always be inconsistent. Successful people understand this. That's why they don't ask, "Do I feel like doing it today?" They ask, "What does my routine require me to do today?" There's a big difference. Feelings change. Habits don't. Imagine brushing your teeth. You don't wake up every morning asking yourself if you're motivated to do it. You simply do it. It's automatic. Now imagine if improving your life became just as automatic. Reading every day. Exercising every day. Learning every day. Saving money every month. Speaking kindly to yourself every morning. Small actions. Repeated consistently. Until they become part of who you are. That's how real transformation happens. People often overestimate what they can achieve in 1 month. But underestimate what they can achieve in 5 years. Because success isn't built through dramatic changes. It's built through tiny improvements repeated over and over again. 1% better every day. That's all it takes. 1 healthier meal. 1 extra page. 1 more workout. 1 difficult conversation. 1 smart decision. It may not feel important today. But those tiny victories quietly shape your future. Here's another truth. Your habits create your identity. If you read every day, you become a reader. If you exercise consistently, you become a healthy person. If you keep your promises to yourself, you become someone you can trust. Your actions tell your brain who you are. That's why successful people focus less on goals and more on systems. Because goals give you direction, but systems carry you there. And even when they fail, they return to their habits. Because habits don't require perfect days. They only require consistency. Never wait for the perfect time. Never wait until you feel ready. Start small. Stay consistent. And let your habits build the future you've been dreaming about. Because once you master your daily habits, there's one final battle that every successful person must win. The battle inside their own mind. The greatest battle you will ever fight will never happen in the outside world. It will happen inside your own mind. Every single day. Two voices are speaking to you. One voice says, "You can do this." The other whispers, "You're not good enough." One tells you to keep going. The other tells you to quit. One pushes you toward growth. The other pulls you back into comfort. The voice you choose to believe will shape the rest of your life. Successful people are not fearless. They feel fear just like everyone else. They feel doubt. They feel anxiety. They experience failure. They have moments when they want to give up. The difference is, they don't allow those emotions to make their decisions. Think about a pilot flying through a storm. The storm is real. The turbulence is real. The fear is real. But the pilot doesn't abandon the airplane. He trusts the instruments. He stays focused. He keeps moving toward the destination. Your mind works the same way. Negative thoughts will come. People will criticize you. Life will test you. Some days you'll question everything. But those moments don't define you. Your response does. Most people become prisoners of their emotions. If they feel lazy, they stop working. If they feel afraid, they stop trying. If they feel rejected, they stop believing. Successful people understand a powerful truth. Feelings are temporary. Purpose is permanent. Instead of asking, "How do I feel today?" they ask, "What kind of person do I want to become?" That one question changes everything. Because identity is stronger than emotion. When you know who you are, temporary feelings lose their power. You'll still have bad days. You'll still make mistakes. You'll still face disappointment. But you won't allow one difficult day to become a difficult life. Remember this. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant confidence, fear will grow. If you don't plant discipline, laziness will grow. If you don't plant hope, negativity will grow. You cannot control every thought that enters your mind. But you can always choose which thoughts you water. Feed your courage. Feed your discipline. Feed your dreams. Starve your excuses. Because every successful life begins with one successful decision. The decision to master your own mind. And once you learn to control what's happening inside you, the outside world slowly begins to change as well. Now think about the person you want to become. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Today. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that version of yourself. A person who keeps their promises. A person who finishes what they start. A person who is disciplined even when no one is watching. A person who keeps moving forward, no matter how difficult life becomes. Now ask yourself one simple question. What is separating you from that person? Is it really a lack of talent? Or is it the small choices you make every single day? The truth is, your future self is watching every decision you make today. Every excuse, every action, every habit, is either bringing you closer to that future, or pulling you further away from it. Many people spend years waiting for confidence. But confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes because of action. The first workout creates confidence. The first book creates confidence. The first difficult conversation creates confidence. The first failure survived creates confidence. You don't become confident by thinking. You become confident by doing. That's why successful people act before they feel ready. They understand that perfection is an illusion. If you wait for the perfect moment, you'll spend your entire life waiting. Start before you're ready. Learn while you're moving. Improve as you go. Because motion creates momentum. And momentum changes lives. Imagine pushing a heavy car. The first few seconds are the hardest. It barely moves. Every push feels impossible. But once the wheels begin turning, keeping it moving becomes much easier. Success works exactly the same way. The beginning is always difficult. The first step feels uncomfortable. The first month feels slow. The first failures feel painful. But if you refuse to stop, momentum begins to work in your favor. One achievement leads to another. One good habit creates another. One victory builds the confidence for the next. This is why consistency always defeats intensity. Anyone can work hard for one day. Very few people can stay committed for 1 year. And those are the people who eventually change their lives. So don't ask yourself, can I become successful? Ask yourself, can I stay consistent long enough for success to find me? Because success is rarely about being the smartest person in the room. It's about becoming the person who never gives up when the room gets quiet. And when you reach that point, success is no longer a matter of if. It becomes a matter of when. As we come to the end of this journey, I want you to remember one thing. Nothing you heard today will change your life. Unless you decide to change. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. You can watch hundreds of motivational videos. Read dozens of books. Listen to the world's greatest speakers. But if your actions remain the same, your life will remain the same. The mirror never changes first. You do. The world never rewards good intentions. It rewards consistent action. So starting today, stop waiting for the perfect opportunity. Become the opportunity. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you. Believe in yourself first. Stop comparing your beginning to someone else's finish. Everyone has a different journey. Everyone has a different timeline. The only person you should compete with is the person you were yesterday. Remember, success is not a destination. It is a way of living. It's choosing discipline over excuses. Growth over comfort. Learning over ego. Courage over fear. Action over procrastination. Every sunrise gives you another chance. Another opportunity. Another beginning. The question is, will you use it? 5 years from now, your future self will either thank you or regret the choices you're making today. That decision belongs to you. Because your life will always move in the direction of your daily choices. So dream big. Work quietly. Stay patient. Keep learning. Keep improving. Keep moving forward. Even when nobody notices. Even when progress feels slow. Even when life becomes difficult. Because one day, the same people who doubted you will ask you how you did it. And on that day, you'll remember that everything changed. The moment you decided to change your mindset. If this video inspired you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the English Academy, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another lesson that can help you grow. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. Keep believing in your dreams. And I'll see you in the next video.